Ian, from a very young age, obviously had all the runny noses that babies have, but his was continual and his was worse than anybody else's. And it didn't come and go, it was just all the time. And he also needed a lot more sleep than other children did, and he was susceptible to every little virus that came by.
When I was younger, it was just really hard for me to go biking with my friends who just take a lot out of me. I'd have to go home and take a nap, and my friends would come knock on the door, and I'd be like, I'm sorry, I'm just too tired.
So we started taking him to allergists. You know, the first thing he did was ask us if we had any pets, and we said yes, we had dogs and cats and birds. And he said, without further discussion at all, he said, well, you have to get rid of all of your pets.
For a while there, it was just like doctor hopping. We'd go to this doctor, they'd say, do this, and we'd try it for a few days. It wouldn't work. We wouldn't see anything improving.
I think it was the third or fourth one who suggested that even though Ian was young, that we should test him, do the skin testing. So we had the first round of all the skin testing and discovered, you know, all the grasses and pollens and leaves and trees, etc., that he was allergic to, and that he is allergic to cats and dogs. That allergist also told us that they could devise a series of serums for Ian, shots, allergy shots, tailored to specifically the things that he is most allergic to. And at first he was getting, I think it was 3 shots twice a week, which is an onerous thing for anybody, but for a little boy, a little bitty boy.
I'd have 1 shot in this arm, and I'd have 2 in this arm. And generally, like, this would be the one that hurt the most because I'd get 2 in the same area. And it's just, it hurt. It hurt.
After a while, I read about the fact that in Europe, they'd started using sublingual drops, which was the same thing basically as what's in the shots, but in a different form so it can be delivered differently, and it's drops that just go under the tongue. And I thought that would be a lot more pleasant experience for all of us. The cost for Ian and his many allergies was only $60 a month for the serum, so that's what we decided to do.
My mom didn't see it, but I was, you know, inside me I was just like, yes, no more shots. And I was just really happy. He
needs less sleep, he needs fewer naps. He doesn't get sick as often because his little system isn't being assaulted quite as much. It's getting slightly better so that he's not as susceptible to every virus that goes by. It is slowly, slowly getting better.
I do feel like I'm getting better because now I'll bike to my friends' houses and hang out with them for a little bit, then bike back to my own house. And I can just do a lot more than I could when I was younger. Last year at school, I did cross country, which would have really not been my sport if my allergies had still been as bad as they were when I was, 6 and 7.
I wish I had known that it's okay to be an advocate for your child. Not just okay, it's necessary to be an advocate for your child. To not just go to the first doctor and listen to what they have to say, regardless of how it suits your family or your child, and just go along with that. I wish that I hadn't spent so many years muffing around and had been more diligent and proactive about finding what we needed and who we needed.